Alrighty. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Class Non-Classic. This episode number 1726 and Doubleshot number 1620. You're probably thinking, now, I was actually planning on doing next, but because of the time, I figured though, just get this Comic Corner done. Just work on that. Okay, with this one, they're both Marvel trades. First one came out back around like 2007, 2008. The issues came out for this one. Oh, from '07 to about '09. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and this is basically the final trade of Reginald Hudlin's run for Black Panther. This is the last trade to collect issues from it because, okay, this book collects issues of Black Panther, issues Volume 4, mind you, Volume 4, issues 35 to 41, the first 6 issues of the relaunch, along with Black Panther, Captain America, Flags and Fathers, and Black Panther Saga. Here's the thing. I'm not discussing the relaunch issues for Black Panther Volume 5 because here's the thing. I own that trade. So, I'm not going to discuss it here. And I'm also not going to discuss the Black Panther / Captain America Flags Fathers miniseries. I own that trade and I've already discussed it. So, I'm just going to discuss basically the final issues of Volume 4. The first story arc I have in here is Back to Africa. Yep, that's the very first story arc we have in here. And that takes up issues 35, 38, the first issue, 35 is like Hafu, and, well, the reason I put it on the light next to me is because the page is kind of blackish. Yes. Oh, here's a little fun fact for you. Jason Aaron co-writes some issues of Black Panther. Well, for 39.41, because, well, it's the final 3 issues of the volume. I'll get to more of that. Now, Back to Africa. By the way, the See Wakanda and Die, that's the final story of this one. I'll discuss that. It's going to have a Peto. Now, the Back to Africa story is simply put, basically, after the events of the whole thing with Fantastic Four, Black Panther's finally returned home with his beautiful wife, and he has to deal with the return of Eric Killmonger. Yep, that's what he has to deal with in the story, which was only 4 issues. Yeah, a 4-part story arc. And he also calls on the help of Iron Man to help him with this. Yep. And he has a fight with Eric Killmonger, and then he finally kills him. Yep, he kills Eric Killmonger. Again. Like, you're probably thinking, how many times Black Panther killed this guy? Several times. It's a pretty good story arc. My only guess is the reason why Reginald Hudlin did it, because, and this is my personal theory, the reason why he did it, because, well, he found him in the last book, so why not find him in this book? That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. The final 3 issues are the Secret Invasion tie-in. Yeah, it's Secret Invasion tie-in. They also this baboon pops up in here, and this issue here was his last appearance, issue 38. Yeah, he didn't appear very much. No, he first appeared back in the Wild Kingdom story arc, and he pops up here for some reason. And here's the weird thing, I did notice this too, that apparently Reginald Hudlin doesn't technically do the final 3 issues. No, for some reason he decided to take some issues off for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Basically, have the book taken up by Jason Aaron, of all people, who's a good writer, mind you. It's weird, though, the fact he's brought in to write Black Panther of all books. Which, to date, I think these were the only issues he ever did for Black Panther, because you're probably thinking, who took over after this? Well, it wasn't Jason Aaron. Nope, it was somebody else. Yeah, for the Secret Invasion tie-in, it's mostly about Wakanda dealt with the invasion. Yep. Now you might be asking, Nick, why in the world did Reginald Hudlin leave after only 6 issues? I have no idea. That's the honest truth. He kind of did issue 7 with the guy who succeeded him, John Mayberry. Yeah, it's most like a transfer book. Yeah, he basically, I'll discuss that later when I talk about the Doom War stuff, which that's quite interesting to talk about. Yep. And then you have well, technically the next book basically was like, the Man Without Fear book. You're probably thinking, who wrote this? That was actually his very next book after the other book wrapped up. I'll discuss more about that later on. Because, yeah, that was an interesting book in a nutshell. Yep. Yeah, yeah, it's basically like a horror story. Like, they think they captured the book on but they didn't. And he basically writes a message in Scroll Blood, don't come back here ever again, which the Scrolls never do, which I found to be so kind of hilarious in Jason Aaron's part. But it's very dark issues, mind you. Yep. And that's pretty much it for Reginald Holland's run of Black Panther. Yeah, it's not that long of a run. If you think about it, if you skip over the final 3 issues of Black Panther Volume 4, and you throw in there the first 6 issues of Black Panther Volume 5, my only guess is the reason why Marvel included those 3 issues in here, because even though Reginald Holland didn't write those issues, they're the last 3 issues of the volume. So they probably threw them in there because it would be kind of weird to throw those issues in there. I mean, I get the first 6 issues of Black Panther Volume 5 because he wrote those issues. As why he left, don't know. He was in the book for about 4 years and he left. This book was really good under Reginald Holland's censure. Yeah, he had a really lengthy run. His run, if you think about it, lasted almost just as long as Chris Dupree's run. Except this one was like 20 issues shorter. Yep. I'll discuss more about my final thoughts on Volume 5 in the video, but my final thoughts on Volume 4, really good volume. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it actually was started publishing, if I remember, I think it started publishing it was like a year after the previous volume had just ended. Yes, they had just ended the previous volume, and then 1 year later we had the relaunch under this tenure. I was kind of baffled the fact this book didn't last very long. I mean, I was kind of basically reading about this book when it was coming out over the course of 3 years. Yeah, not very long, and then like after seeing Invasion, they relaunched the book. I didn't really get that. As far as I can tell, there was no reason to relaunch the book. I mean, you could have kept the book numbering going for another brief period of time before you had the Doom War stuff, but I don't really get why. It's kind of baffling as it is. Now, once I get a chance to read Doom War, with that, I pretty much read everything Black Panther published in the last 20 years. Alright? Moving on to the 1990s, we have Heroes Reborn, Fantastic Four. Excuse me. This is done by Jim Lee, Scott Lobdell, and Brandon Choi. And in my opinion, now, this book, I don't hear this book getting a lot of flack like Captain America did by Rob Liefeld. Or, in the case of Iron Man, was underrated. This by far was the best book of the line. This one tied with basically Avengers, was really good. Yeah, and also we had this thing where, now in these issues, we had the Heroes Reborn versions, not only the main four, but also Doctor Doom, who, by the way, they didn't change his look at all. They kept the same exact look. We also had Wild Whack Book, though the first one to show up in here was the Evil Dick, though they later retconned that was actually a Skrull, because Marvel loves using that Skull retcon. Like, oh, this character's not going to have character. He's a Skrull. Yep, Marvel loves doing that. Oh, this character's back. Then who died? Skrull. Yeah, Marvel loves using the Skrull card for reasons as a retcon card. Yes, my only guess is the reason why Jim Lee did that, and this is my personal theory. I think because people didn't like how he was writing Wyatt Wagfoot. So he retconned it where that wasn't the actual Wyatt Wagfoot. Oh no, it was actually a Skrull, a Super Skrull. Though he was not wearing the Jack Kirby design. No, he was wearing something else. Yeah, we also had Heroes Reborn versions of the Inhumans, who look exactly like the way they do in regular universe. Not much change there. We also have the Submariner. Excuse me. Oh yeah, we even have a brief appearance by the Mole Man. Yes, the Heroes Reborn version of Mole Man. Yeah, it's almost like Jim Lee was channeling Stan Lee the way it was published back in the 60s. It's like he took aspects of the 60s version and just basically updated it for modern day. Yeah, and this book is just so good. Really good consistent artwork. And like other books, this book was probably the only book in the line that did not change the creative team at all. Jim Lee wrote all the issues, all 12. Well, he wrote the last issue, mind you, 13. That was done by James Robinson. Verse 12, that's all Jim Lee, though his co-writer did change. Yeah, originally was Scott Lobdell, and then half of the book were replaced by Brandon Choi. But at least he had a consistent head writer on the book, which was really good. Yep. Now, Jim Lee did work on the artwork, too, with this book. Yes, he did. With Brett Booth and Rob Lim. Yeah. And no denying the fact. Now, here's the thing. Look at this cover. You're probably thinking, this cover looks very familiar. That is because they used a very similar cover image for Fantastic Four Volume 3. Yes, pretty much almost the same exact lineup we have Fantastic Four here. Yeah, there's no denying. Really good artwork. I'm surprised, though, Linkar has not reviewed anything that Heroes Reborn line. I mean, he reviewed all the first issues for the first 4 books, I believe, of $20.99, but not this book for some reason. Or any of the books Heroes Reborn. I think someone should Patreon request them, hey, can you review some issues of any of the Heroes Reborn books? That might be interesting, in my opinion. Yeah, this book is fantastic. I give this book, here's a shocker for you, a 10 out of 10. Because it's just really good. We also have Nick Fury pops up in here. At one point, we have Wolverine pop up in here, which the X-Men were not part of this lineup. Though you kind of say it's mostly deal with stuff with Galactus. Yep. And here's the thing. I like the Avenger or X-Men traits. It does include the issues of the crossovers they had, which they had 3 of them, by the way. The first 2 are in trade, the third one isn't. They included just the Fantastic Four part and a little bit of pages here and there from the other books, but not the entire thing. Not like the Avengers one or Iron Man. This one, they mostly just have all Fantastic Four. The first 12 out of 13 issues Fantastic Four Volume 2. Yep. Now, let's just end it here. Just these 4 books are, well, really, I enjoy reading both these books. Maybe long, but they're really good. And they definitely help. And if you're curious, though, if you're curious in buying how much they cost, well, the Fantastic Four Heroes Reborn is $29.99. That's actually the usual price for these books these size. These Complete Collection one, this one is $40. Yeah, seriously, that's how much it costs. Like one is like 30, that was like 40. Yep. So yes, that's gonna be pretty much it for this particular review. Stay tuned for tomorrow for about a couple of videos coming tomorrow, and that'll be review for Silver Spider. So what? I'm actually gonna start that one now, and Boruto and maybe One Piece because One Piece did come back. Okay, next video. Bye.